Welcome to the 2022 Nigerian Entertainment Conference. This year's event is themed Sustaining the African Momentum, and it is happening right here at Landmark Event Center, Lagos. Today we have celebrities, entertainers, and creatives as panelists. And my name is Ahina Arthur. I am here to bring you all the highlights of this event. You're watching AFOREVO TV. So come on, let's learn more on how to move the Nigerian entertainment industry forward. At the NEC live, and I have Tiana. She's wearing all black just like me. You see, I thought right today, right? Beautiful. I love your teeth.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
It's so good to have you here, and I can't wait to hear you speak today.
I am speaking. Hi.
How the entertainment industry has grown in terms of fashion and styling, because you have first-hand, communication with the celebrities, you style them, and yeah. So how has it grown?
Okay. First, I don't only style. Yeah. I started with music videos. I direct music videos. A lot of music videos I've done. I'm sure you know a few. And I styled them as well, which was why I broke into the industry. I actually started with beauty amongst all my various 33 businesses that I run at my empire. But I think fashion opened a lot of doors for me, internationally and locally as well. I'm sure you've seen a lot of international celebrity. I've worked with Ciara, Cardi B, etc. And it was fashion that did it, from working with likes of Whiskey to everybody. So when people look at Nigeria and think Nigeria is ordinary, I look at them and laugh, because a lot of our artists, people really want to mingle with them. Even the red carpets nowadays, the movies, they've stepped up their game. Before, you see everybody show up to the red carpet looking anyhow, but now, you can't catch anybody on fresh. Everybody's investing in their looks. And, they call me the star maker because I'm an image maker. I can see a brand that is nothing, and I look at it, mold it up, invest my energy, my time, everything to it, and turn the person into a major star by their looks, how they carry themselves, the confidence attributes. So what I do is more than styling.
Drama must inform, it must educate, it must transform, and it must be used as a tool for societal rejuvenation. That's why we're here today. So, because knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, there is now a burden on the artist to use his or her art to cause societal change. And as an artist, what is your basic raw material? What are your raw materials? What does the artist use to create his or her art? Society. So my environment cannot be burning, and as an artist, that is not reflected in my art. It is a waste of art. Not to say that we do not know that there is art for art's sake. There are some people that have just chosen to entertain and leave it at entertainment. Oh, I just want to see songs. I don't have any business with what is going on around me. I just want to act. I don't have any business with what is going on outside. But as a functioning artist, you are influenced directly by society. Why? Because the actor, I'm using my own field as case study, the actor and the character must become one for the process of entertainment to be complete. So I, the actor, Debo Adina, enters into the character of I enter into that character. The consciousness of Debo Adina is in the character of you are doing well. So we have become one. So that character is not oblivious of what Debo Adina as a person is going through. So that's why people will see my content and say, oh, you talk about this thing or you talk about that thing. It is the function of using my art form to change society.
I am live with Miriam Tima of the Real Housewives of Lagos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
You're dressed like a boss that you are. Hello.
Try, whatever.
How you doing?
I'm great.
So it's so good to have you here, and you are a part of the panelists. So tell me, first off, when you got the memo that you're going to be speaking here today, how did you feel?
I'm like, what am I speaking about? Like, I'm the kind of person that, if honest, I'm the kind of person that likes to acquire knowledge and learn. So as soon as I got an invitation to speak today, it felt like this is amazing because we need this. The youths need this. Do you understand? Because since COVID, do you understand? Nothing has really happened like this. Let's be frank. We've not really had. Usually, before we have like social media week, we have all those things, but nothing has really happened in the past 2 to 3 years. And NEC Life is a platform that empowers, pass on information to the youths, and I was really privileged because sustaining the momentum in Africa is an amazing topic. This is a thing that people need to know. Especially in the entertainment industry, people don't talk about it more often. We just complain about it, but not talk about it.
So let me come to you now. So Neil ended with social development. The people understand what you're doing, and you've got international recognition and playing for the work you're doing with young children, particularly boys in the slums, and using chess to sort of broaden their horizons and their awareness. Do you feel any responsibility to take it to a more political meaning, to have a situation where you're getting involved in policy, you're getting involved in legislation, to a point where you, as a social development entrepreneur, may not necessarily have to be there because policy is able to provide these children the kind of education and exposure that they need. Do you feel any responsibility to get involved in conversations like that?
To answer your question, this is something that I have spent a lot of time thinking about because of the nature of what I do, working with the grassroots. A lot of people ask me, so what do you think about getting into politics? Wouldn't you rather, do this from a governmental point of view? Because one thing I've learned is that individual heroics will never be enough, right? Nigeria is a multidimensional poverty, and when they say that 100 million Nigerians live below a certain income on a daily basis, it's not just some data, so but some random survey by someone. These are actual lives, and the ones that bear the most brunt of it are the children that live in these communities that have no understanding of how the world works.
But what do you want to address, or rather make the youth learn today with your speech today?
For me, I feel like, number one, I would say consistency. And number two, I would say not taking no for an answer, not giving up. Those two things. Because it's part of you can't give advice if you've not lived through it. And these are the things I've lived through. Do you get me? I go by when it comes to me, you can only tell me no, but that doesn't mean I'll not go to the next chapter and try again. Until I get it right, until I get what I want, I will keep trying. And I feel like after probably the first or second or third no's, they give up. They start looking down on themselves. Do you get me? And I really want to pass that message out there today.
Had in this country, dating back to, let me at least, again, I'm not a history student, but dating back to someone like Chief Obafemi Awolowo, they have always represented a political party, and at the same time, they have represented an ideology. One thing people remember Chief Obafemi Awolowo and the Action Congress for is free education. Chief Awokoya was the one that presented that free educational bill for the Western region in 1952, and it was implemented by Chief Obafemi Awolowo in 1955. Until today, we still benefit from it because people will be like, oh, how come you can easily tell someone from this part of the country to go and blow up something, but it's not easy to tell people from Lagos to go and blow up something and they'll go and do it. It is because of the legacy that our forefathers have put in place. My grandmother is in her 80s right now. She studied in primary school for only 6 years. She traveled the world selling gold. And I can tell you that those 6 years of education were so quality that she could sustain an entire family with it. But today we don't have that. But because of the education she has passed down, from what she benefited from the free education that was put in place by Chief Obafemi, we benefit from it. But she taught me how to speak English.
But how do you think we can sustain that momentum of Nollywood going international, the streaming platforms, and even doing more?
Okay, so like I said earlier, we need to stick to our originality, which is our culture, because our culture is rich and it's beautiful and it's deep, and there's a whole lot of things to draw from it, and when you draw that and you present that to the world, people will accept it and relate with you, just like what we're doing on The Real Housewife of Lagos, promoting our culture, promoting our city, letting them understand that it's not all poor, rich, dirty, like we can be very glamorous in every areas of our life. So we need to bring that on board and keep doing that. And also flow with time and flow with the season, because there's a season for everything. So, and most especially the youths, that's what they embrace more now, because that's the era, the social media era.
How do you flow with time though? Because you are a super duper cool mom. No, for real. How do you manage to flow with time? It's you say, but it's not really so easy to keep up these days.
Well, you have to communicate a lot with the young ones, listen to them, see how they talk, how they dress. Like I never feel like I know it all. So most times I share ideas with the young ones, my children, my workers, people around me. I sit on social media, I listen, I watch, I learn. You have to keep learning, because that's the only way you can remain constant with time, is for you to learn and flow along, and never believe that you can do anything. Always try your best to see that you can actually do it or achieve it.
I think the first thing I would really like people to know that I came to a deep understanding of is that there's no single story. And I think seeing life from this, perspective really changes everything. There's no single story about anyone or about any place. The single story that was being propagated about Oshogana Bridge, for example, which is one of the most notorious ghettos here in Lagos, Nigeria, was that it's a den of area boys, thugs that would not think twice about harming you, like to rob you or just kill you. A lot of really terrible things that happened there, which is true, very correct, but it's not the only story. Now, there's a more human perspective to the story that we've neglected for so many years. And that allowed that area boy menace to linger, to evolve. And the day I came to the realization of this, it gave me all the courage to listen to the other side of the story. I was just driving, and a little boy just walked up to me in traffic there at Oshogbo. This was sometime in July last year. And he was knocking my car window and begging for money. For most of us that are car owners, we see this every time. And he was a street kid, obviously, but I didn't have any money, so I just ignored, and traffic cleared and I just moved on. And he just went on to the next car. And that is that boy's reality, right? Always begging for money. But then, I couldn't stop thinking about that kid, because someday he will grow up and he will lose that childhood innocence. And that thing he didn't get while he was begging you. If he brings out a gun, you need to give him your phone or something, right? So he will get it through violence. So I wanted to understand how that phase where that child loses that innocence and evolves into that area boy, that agbero that will not become a menace to society. At what point did we lose them? So that was what made me very curious. And I went there and I took a chessboard and I said, see, I don't have money, but I want to teach you guys how to play chess, right? I wanted to engage their minds, to know what their story was. I didn't just want to believe that societal stereotype that they're good for nothings and all of that. I knew it was true, but I knew it couldn't be the only story.
In what area do you think we can do better in terms of sustaining the movement of the entertainment industry in Nigeria?
I think we need to remove gatekeeping. That's the first thing. So it's important for us to have a definite seamless way people that are just coming up can actually do things. So you don't need to know one person or be friends with this person or be just a fine boy that is popular for you to get into entertainment industry. No, you should be someone that is talented, someone that has studied it, someone that is willing and wanting to be part of that industry. You get what I'm saying? So we need to do better in those aspects. You know, you look at God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman went to School of Arts, sponsored by Denzel Washington. So that was why he was able to grow in his craft and do this. So if you're not having a lot of people that is their passion, and a lot of people that is what they want to do, then it's going to hold us back a bit.
If we focus more on the issues, we wouldn't be seeing those things as distractions. You understand? So there are issues, and I think Nigerians is not a function of who is entertaining who. It's a function of the mindset of Nigerians. I mentioned this back then. I said Nigerians is a curse of survival. Saying, oh, anyhow, Nigerians will survive. As a matter of fact, we take pride in saying it, that if you can survive in Nigeria, you can survive anywhere. So we are by ourselves. We've accepted anything thrown at us because we always think people survive.
So let me now follow that up. Do you think it's possible for entertainers, social media influencers, creatives across the continent to focus on just a social awakening of this generation, or getting them to be politically active without necessarily doing the other? Is it a one only, or is it a both? Can you be socially conscious, get your audience and those who follow you to be socially conscious as well, or you can only get them to be politically aware? Can you do the same, getting civic participation and enlightenment?
My question, I will also ask you a question. My own question to you would be, why must those things stop only in Nigeria? Why would the world, why would they say, oh, all the big artists do for the world, other places, or football? Why can't football also stop? Or I can give you a lot of other things that if you are saying that should stop, then it should also stop. So, like I said, it's the function of us finding, shifting the goalposts, finding where we shift the blame. What we need is an environment that allows for these things to thrive. You understand? So, like I discussed, this is there. We will always reflect these things in what we do. But it will not now, I think it will be unfair to now say, oh, this artist, there are some artists that don't want to involve themselves in anything politics, or they just want to do what they love. So, do you say that this artist should deprive themselves of their passion because of the entire Nigerians? Will bakers do the same? Will doctors do the same? Although yes, they are saving lives, or we know a lot of people that entertainment also are saving their lives. Will teachers do the same? Will bankers do the same? So I think what we should focus on is working on a working system. Making our system to work, to accommodate everyone. I know that every other person can thrive, irrespective of the career path that they've chosen.
Do you think the way Nigerian music is made and promoted is being reshaped and redefined? If yes, in what way?
Absolutely. Yes, the way it's made, of course, I can tell you, because I started from an era where we used to beg our computers to work. To an era because they didn't have a lot of power. We didn't used to even have engineers, like computer engineers that understood music softwares. You just had a lot of computer engineers that will know how to install Microsoft Office and the basic Corel Draw for to a point where with your laptop you can do amazing things. So definitely we've evolved. I've seen a lot of things change, and it can only get better, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Promotion.
The same thing. We're coming from an era where to promote your music, you have to print physical copies and take to every radio station. Yes, you have to print physical copies and take to every radio station in Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja. To a point now where all you need to do now is send emails. You send emails with your song and everybody gets it.
It's tricky, but yes, I honestly feel that the people, the audience, they feel entertainers or popular figures, have superpowers. We always thank God for where we are, you understand? But it does not make us, at least use me as an example, it does not make us immune to some certain ills or vices from the people at the top. So there are several ways that they can as well because suffer. You understand? So I feel the people just, and sometimes that's why I said it's tricky, because I also understand them. They just feel that, well, your own voice is louder than our own now. Use it to talk to us and everything. When I was speaking, I said, I think we are getting to a point where one way or the other, people are conscious. Entertainers in their arts, maybe drama, comedy, you find a tone of that, of what people are going through. But I think it will be too much to now ask that all the entertainers be 100% in it. I said, no, it's not, it's personal. I want to see it as personal. And I want to see that it has to be personal conviction on the part of the artist.
Why are you here today? Why did you attend this event?
Well, I actually came to, this is actually my first time for coming to NEC Live, and I'm so excited. Getting here, the whole of my mindset, everything has changed, because I am super more excited now, getting to know that, getting to learn so much and know that it's not just about having talent, but about being a voice.
Here's the question: how do you put everything together? Where do you get the inspiration? Where do you get the strength from, Tiana? I need to ask you.
It actually comes from my kids and my parents.
Really?
Yeah.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Yeah, because all my kids, my son, Lord Main, is actually a musician as well. He has his own, he's a swag kid. He's won the child entrepreneur of the year. He's always winning awards, and that takes a lot of effort. That's a mom working behind the scenes, and not to talk of all the other various businesses that I run and all my other kids as well, schooling abroad, etc. It's a lot.